Alright boys, welcome back to another video. Knicks Daily here. We're coming off of a loss in the first Summer League game against the Charlotte Hornets 94-90. But honestly, the point of these games isn't necessarily to win, it's to see the development of our players. Tyler Kolek alone makes the Knicks a massive winner today because he went out there, he plays in 29 minutes, has 7 points, did shoot 2 of 6 from the field, made one of his 2 threes, but we're focusing on the passing, 7 assists, 7 rebounds. He sees the floor incredibly well. He honestly sees it like a veteran. Kolek's a guy who could be seeing 9 to 12 minutes a night for the Knicks, and not their summer league team, obviously their main roster. So looking at Kolek, I was extremely impressed. Obviously, when he's playing in the NBA against NBA players, these are G League players. I mean, there are some, of course, but when he's playing at the next level, everyone's going to be bigger, stronger, more athletic, but also the players around him are going to be significantly better. I didn't think that a lot of these Knicks players tonight played the greatest. I mean, this Knicks team didn't lead the entire game. Of course, they cut it to 2 several times. They were down 2-0. They cut it to 2 at one point in the second half, and then they cut it to 2 with like 7 seconds left. But overall, when Kolek is around guys like Miles McBride, OG and Brunson and McCubbridge, like all these guys, it's just going to be awesome to see. I think he's really going to have a lot of potential, and yeah, he's going to run our second unit. This is something that's been talked about in the Knicks organization. Is Miles McBride's more of a shooting guard. He's not a point guard. So Kolek's our backup point guard. I mean, it's just the simple truth, because Jalen Brunson's going to play 35 minutes a game. So you'd have to imagine that the other 13 is going to go to Tyler Kolek. So I thought he played great. Again, yeah, the Knicks loss, it sucks, man. I'm competitive, so it feels like a real loss, like NBA level loss. But at the end of the day, Tyler Kolek was incredible. I also liked what I saw out of Paciome Dadiet. You got to remember, he's 18 years old. Kolek's 23 years old, so he's played a lot more basketball. I mean, collegiate level versus Europe is a lot different. But Dadiet, he did airball 2 threes, but his release, you could see it's quick. He's got that long size to him as well, but overall, the way he gets the basketball off, it's going to be tough for people to block. And you can see that a lot of it is just him developing, and just him, of course, it's a lot of pressure as well, too. I mean, playing for the, I mean, he played against grown men, but overall playing for the Knicks in the Summer League, you know that you're competing for a roster spot. Obviously, you don't want to go to the G League. You want to be on the main roster. So it's sort of just getting the butterflies out of the way. I think the Knicks in the next game will be much better. But overall, the first half, we really just weren't that good. 23-12. We played about as bad as you could have in the first quarter. We did win the second and the third quarter. We split the fourth quarter. That was kind of the thing. If we had been able to win the fourth quarter, we would have won this game. But yeah, overall, I thought Dadiet played well. He had 5 rebounds, 2 assists, a couple of turnovers, but you could see that he wasn't afraid to shoot the basketball. And the way he moves, it just fits the exact type of build that you would want out of a 3-and-D player, right? So, 6'8", 6'9", with that lengthy wingspan, the ability to shoot, high release, get it off quickly. He reminds me a lot of Michael Porter Jr. Of course, again, he's 18 years old. He's still developing, and he's extremely raw, but he has the potential to be a big-time weapon for the Knicks in a couple of seasons. So we'll definitely keep an eye on his development, but I think he's the type of player that obviously will be in Westchester with the Knicks G League team for the entire season. But just to see him out there was really cool, because we didn't have a draft pick last year, especially yet alone in the first round, right? Jacob Toppen, he had 19 points, made 2 of 3 threes. I mean, Toppen, I think he took like 4 or 5 threes all of last season in the G League. So to see him taking threes means that he clearly has been working on his game this offseason. In our Summer League preview a couple of days ago, we talked about how I wanted to see Toppen and has he taken his game to a new level. And in this game, he clearly did. He had 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 19 points. Of course, he missed a layup at the end of this game, which would have tied it and potentially forced overtime, but it was a really difficult shot. It was off of an alley-oop, essentially, where he had to lay it in with a man draped all over him. But yeah, Toppen looked good in this game. The same thing goes for Toppen and Washington Jr. He had 26 points, 8 of 18 from the field, 4 of 8 from 3. I mean, yeah, he did have 0 assists. 3 boards isn't anything crazy, but I mean, 4 of 8 from 3, 8 of 18 from the field, 26. I mean, he was essentially making everything. It literally felt like he was making everything. And it seemed like the game was completely out of reach with like 2-3 minutes left. And then this dude just hits a deep 3. I mean, that was off of a Hornets 3 as well. So yeah, I thought Washington Jr. played extremely well. And overall, Jokubaitis, Rokas Jokubaitis is a guy that I had my eyes on. You guys had your eyes on. He played 14 minutes, had 8 points. well, 1 assist, 2 rebounds. That was a -6. I mean, he just really Jokubaitis, I thought, was quiet in this game. He wasn't aggressive, and I'm not gonna be like he didn't impress me because again, a lot of these Knicks players I thought just seemed a little bit rusty, like they were getting the butterflies out of their system or something. But yeah, he definitely did not show anything essentially in this game. And Tyler Kolek was the guy that impressed, and Dwayne Johnson obviously played 31 minutes to Jokubaitis' 14. So yeah, that was pretty much that. But Hook Porty's a guy who we drafted 58th. He was the end of the second round. Overall, it didn't seem like there was much of him. He played a lot in the first quarter, and he just looked raw to me. He looked like he has to put on a lot of weight, a lot of muscle, but I don't know how old he is, to be honest with you guys. He probably is like 18 or 19. He's 22, really. I would have thought he was younger than that. Okay, so overall, yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of work to do. The one thing I will say about Hook Porty is that he did a good job of putting himself in the right position. He just didn't make the shots, and also he screened well, and he's got high IQ. So I think he's got a lot of potential. I think he's a skillful player. Just, it was one of those weird games where, I don't know, he did have shot 3 of 6, 6 points, 5 boards, 2 assists. So statistically in 17 minutes, I mean, that's good numbers. But yeah, I just thought that he left a lot on the table, and I'm excited to see what he can do moving forward. But in terms of the bench, we did get a really good game from Bao. He had 8 points, 2 steals, 2 boards, and an assist. It wasn't necessarily the biggest impact from a statistical standpoint. I mean, those numbers in 19 minutes are good. Like 8 points in 19 minutes is incredible. But it was just his impact on the defensive side. He got into the passing lanes. He made it difficult, and he just put a lot of pressure on the opposing team's players. And that's something that doesn't really show. I mean, of course, the 2 steals, but it was just constant pressure, and he made it difficult on them. And he was a guy that whenever he came out of the game, I was kind of just bummed out about because I thought the defense was a lot better when he was out there. Skibetsev was the guy who I thought overall had a good game. He had 9 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. Overall, I mean, he's the type of guy that he was just a lot bigger than everyone else out there. And whenever he got an offensive rebound, which he did only have one of them, but even when the ball was just thrown down to him low, I mean, nobody came even close to blocking it. He did have a missed layup that, like, literally he should have been 5 of 6. He was 4 of 6, but there was this one play where literally the guard, it was Washington, I believe, just dumped it down to him, and he caught it, and it was like, oh, let me rise up for a wide open layup, and then he somehow missed it, but which was a little bit frustrating because things like that just kind of killed the momentum, and then it led to an N1 on the other side of the floor. But he was a guy that was in our G League. I think he's got a lot of potential, and I'm excited to see him keep working. I mean, obviously, the only player that was out there today that's going to have even a chance to have a role for the Knicks next season is going to be Tyler Kolek. Like, I don't think anyone else is, unless there was a bunch of injuries, and even to that point, the Knicks would probably sign a veteran or end up making a trade. Like, I was going to say Dadiet maybe, but an 18-year-old is certainly not going to be playing for the Knicks. Tyler Kolek's not an ordinary rookie. He's 23. He sees the court like a veteran, T.J. McConnell type of player. I mean, I'm excited about him. But Lewis had 2 points in 8 minutes. Kennedy did not, I believe he did play. He didn't technically, yeah, he did. I was going to say, it's listed as 0 minutes. He definitely played. He missed 2 threes. And then we talked about Jokubaitis. Just was really shy, wasn't aggressive. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of frustrating. I hope next game these guys just understand that, like, hey, look, I got to go out there and take over because he's a very talented player. Of course, Jonas Valanciunas? Yeah, Jonas Valanciunas played with him in Lithuania. And he said that he definitely is an NBA player. Jalen Brunson called him a great player. So I just didn't see it in this one. But I don't think it was a lack of talent. I think it was just a lack of assertiveness. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, overall, I'm not going to say it was a bad game because the Knicks did fight. They could have easily got blown out after the first quarter, but they did fight. They scrapped. They shot 42% from the field. They shot 35% from 3. And hey, if the Knicks had made all of their free throws, they would have won this game. Now, asking a team to go 21-21 is pretty much ridiculous, but if they had made those 5 free throws, then the Knicks win this game. They win by 1 point. But there's a lot to nitpick at. I like nitpicking, and it's something that I do. I mean, yeah, sure, it's a summer league game. I mean, at 30 minutes from now, I'm not really going to care about the loss or whatever, but it's just something that, I mean, this is the future of our team.